Historical Museum, and they got a fucking display right there telling you the same fucking thing.
Are you saying that they created a white flight across the entire United States?
That was so. Before then, whites were starting because this is a period of construction of the U.S. the federal highway system, right? So yes, whites were moving. Whites were trickling. Whites were trickling into the suburbs. Once the blacks started rioting and destroying the local businesses and community in that area, boom, you saw tens of thousands of white folks just pack their bags and take the fuck off. And it was because of the fucking violence and the rioting.
Yeah, but this is again, that's like part of it, but that's not everything. And so yeah, you just
that was a major.
That when you say that,
I'm not saying it was everything, but
yeah, if you put like a function, and you say here's the percentage of the cause for white flight, what would you assign to this event?
The race riots, the race riots of the 60s.
The entire chain. There was an entire chain, like the whole area, the metro area. Like you could just look into it more. I know you've been to the Detroit Historical Museum, so that's good. But yeah, if you had talked to like a tour guide, they would have given you a better context.
I don't need a tour guide. I got 3 generations of photo albums with pictures of Detroit with blacks,
where'd you
with
live?
the homes,
you live in the city?
with the manicured lawns, with blacks and dressed up in nice collared button-up shirts, ties, well kempt, well manicured. So I've got photo albums. I've got the Detroit Historical Museum. I've got history that tells that and it's documented that the catalyst of white flight in the city of Detroit was the fucking race riots, and because they destroyed the area.
Okay, so where do you live in the city?
That was 67.
Let me just ask you a question. Where do you live in the city? It sounds like you live in the city. Where do you live?
I live 20 minutes outside the city.
Where? Do you live in like?
I live in the suburbs.
Oh, yeah?
I live in the suburbs. I technically live 10 minutes from the city border, but if you're talking like downtown, the deeper area of Detroit, I live about 20 minutes.
Okay, so wait, where did your family live? Did they live on the west side or the east side or something? Like where?
Mainly west side.
Okay, so then do you know about the composition? You know about Sherwood Forest, you know about Boston Edison, you know about Rosedale and Grandmont, you know about
I know about all that. I know about Chrysler coming in. I know about the eminent domain. I know about all that stuff.
Presenting it as if those areas are not still well constituted. There's there's nothing in the city.
Moderator talk, you just keep talking. So.
No, it's fine, KB. We're ping ponging back and forth. No, he's fine. He's being respectful. He's good. He's being respectful. He's cool. But what I'm saying is that again, this narrative has shifted that we're trying to blame white folks for leaving a mess for us to clean up when we created that mess with the riots. The majority of white folks left once the racial riots started taking place and blacks started burning everything down and destroying that fucking city. That's the truth, bro. That's the truth.
Did we destroy the Packard plant? Did we destroy the plant up on Woodward in Highland Park? Did we destroy that plant? Do you think us rioting led to Chrysler and Ford moving their plants 100 miles, 20 miles outside the city?
Okay, again, it wasn't that prevalent. Again, that's part of it, right? What you're asking, sir, does not make any sense. And if you don't believe me, go up on ChatGPT. Type in when did white flight happen in Detroit, and I'll quote from ChatGPT. That's the quickest we can get. Quote: 1960s, the 1967 Detroit riot was the single biggest turning point, and just a few years afterward, tens of thousands of white residents left for the suburbs like Livonia, Warren, Dearborn, and Grosse Pointe, sir. I rest my case.
Yeah, I mean, there's also
a YouTube link. It's 4 minutes, but if you play it at 1.5 speed, it's
and you live in Michigan too, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, the point of this conversation, sir, is the fact that, again, it comes down to what Malcolm X was saying about the left, about Democrats, right? Malcolm had his beef with conservatives, right? But he at least gave conservatives some credit and said, hey, at least some motherfuckers are wolves, right? They're going to just show you how gritty they are. At least you know what's coming. You know what to expect. You can plan and prepare for it. But it's the white liberals that put on that fucking disguise, all in your face, act like they're your friends and trying to help you. But in reality, they're just gaining clout off of you and look at table scraps while they eat the main fucking course.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go right ahead. Yep.
Let's have dinner.
Okay, so I don't like necessarily like disagree with you about like white liberals because like sometimes they're like it's just cringe and it feels like what's the word for it? They tokenize well I mean both sides of the party.
Minister speaks out after being branded a racist. Have you guys seen this?
No, I'm gonna now.
Pretty interesting story. Sad. Radical Islam's not a joke. Hi, John. Hi, John. Good morning. Good morning. Shalom.
Hey, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos to everybody. Hannah. Good Shabbos. Caleb. Even the anonymous. Good Shabbos. Sire. Anna. Ethan. Grace. Jonas. Good Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom.
Do we got 60 seconds for Tanya?
Now you're asking me if I got 60 seconds for Tanya's. Tanya's infectious.
It is. Ella. Shabbat shalom. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You guys all have an amazing, sweet.
Okay, you want to hear a chapter from Tanya?
Please.
Okay, this is pick a number 1 through 50. I'll just read whichever number.
49.
All right. It's called The Purpose of Creation. While
Wow. What a good pick.
So take the deepest breath of the day. This is called The Purpose of Creation. While the levels of contraction are too many to count, we focus on 3: the world of thinking, the world of feeling, and the world of doing. Thinking, feeling, and doing are essential to the material world, whose purpose is to provide darkness in which light can shine. Hence, the purpose of descent is in fact ascent, for love impels the flesh. It is not enough to know this. You must also act upon it, as it is written, and the glory of God shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it. This is why God contracted and became the worlds, to draw the infinite into the finite, that the finite might know the infinite.
Thank you. Hi, Jonas. Good Shabbos to all. Jonas, welcome to the stage. How are you? Thanks for that 60 seconds of Tanya. Peter, Shabbat Shalom. Caleb, Samson, Shabbat Shalom. What do you guys think about this mayor in Dearborn, Michigan? John, did you see this?
No, I didn't see it. Is that the link?
No. Yeah. Caleb, how are you? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
So yeah, Grace, not to really get into it, so it was a very fruitful conversation. I sent you a picture in the back channels for yourself.
Caleb, do you think there could you think there can ever actually be unity amongst people? Because if they're not willing to join a book club together, I get the feeling that unity is just impossible.
I think greed, being vain, it's going to impact unity. I don't think there ever will be unity. I mean, my religion has a bigger dick type of thing.
Well, what I'm saying is the programming will never change unless the participants, choose to change the programming. And no contentment will ever come without a content change.
I think the content could change, but I don't think. I think change has to come within the home, and I don't think people are going to change the way they're raising their children. And unfortunately, hate is a disease, and we don't have the medication yet for it to cure it.
We do. We have Tanya.
Yeah, we do as Jews, but I don't think the other people that have the disease of hate have it.
Well, that's why I talk about the book club, because if you want the opposing side to change and go within, they'd have to join a book club. It's like Clubhouse. Each one of these rooms is in a house. The house is the analogy for our brains, and there's many rooms, and there's a perimeter to that house. So the house is a very good analogy for city states or states, governments or peoples, and Clubhouse is proof of that. I mean, they branded the term house in their name. So what's everybody doing for the Rosh Hashanah dinner on Monday?
Yeah, what is everybody doing? What's your plans for the holidays, guys?
Working.
For dinner?
No, not for dinner. For dinner, we'll do the five of us, just our immediate family first night, and then second night we're at my mom's.
Nice. You have a congregation to talk to?
Yeah.
Nice.
Still busy prepping, but we'll get there.
What's your plans, John? Take home.
No, I was gonna go to the local Chabad. It's $25 for the ticket, and he does an amazing job. Really nice.
Can't go wrong with cheap.
I was just about to say the same thing. Boy, that's really nice.
They go around town blowing the shofar, and I'm like, isn't that kind of risky, as a Hasidic Jew, to walk around blowing the shofar, having a good time around town? I mean, that's to me like what makes a Chabadniks amazing, is that they are willing, nothing will stop them in their joy of, presenting in public and trying to bring people closer to God. To me, that's, real courage.
They got the biggest balls combined.
They also are very creative. They're really doing some creative things.
See, the thing is, though, they want you to join their congregation. They need you, and they need your donations. But I've never had anyone in Chabad ever say, "Hey, have you heard about this amazing book called Tanya by the Alter Rebbe?" Never heard anybody say that to me ever. So I feel like having discovered the Tanya and really enjoying it, you can still spend time with Chabadniks, but you can also detect their own frustration. But their attitude, it's about peace, and psychologically, I think, and intellectually, the information that they possess is, I hope, responsible for their joy.
are people doing for Rosh Hashanah? Caleb, what are you doing?
Working. What are you doing?
Praying. Singing, leading children's services. I'm very excited, as usual.
I think it's also important that we do talk about what's going on in Dearborn and how that affects the rest of the world and the United States. Especially being in the United States where freedom of speech is supposed to be like highlighted. And if you guys can read the article, you'll see what's going on. It's despicable.
These types of cultural or religious clashes are only going to increase over time in this country, you know, and in Europe, it's the same way. You know, I don't know too many Muslims personally, you know, but I feel like I'd be comfortable around Muslims. But I think, you know, from a Western lens, I don't know how. I mean, if you ever spent time in Saudi Arabia or any, you know, or Jordan or any Islamic country, um, it seems like there's classes of people who, you know, who are just not religious, and but yet, I don't know, there's got to be this socioeconomic um, division between, you know, in Islamic countries. But anyways, I read the article, you know, so these things are going to happen. I don't know how. This is all you can do is if you are a Christian or a Jew, it's your public service to go against, you know, Islamic preaching, Islamic law, Islamic leadership in this country. It's your public duty and historical precedent. I mean, there's nothing controversial about using your information against their information. That's all it is. If you do it peacefully and respectfully, you're going to win the debate. And that's my opinion. And then the cream will rise to the top.
Actually get this because I'm kind of a Methodist liberal guy, and I have huge problem with Islamic culture. It messes up shit. It's not like, and all the people I hang around with defend them. I don't believe in that shit because you are supposed to defend your beliefs.
Yeah, Dearborn's a shithole. I can't imagine wanting to live there.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, City.
What's happening?
I posted a link on the top where there's a Christian minister who speaks out for a street named after a terrorist sympathizer in Dearborn, Michigan, and the mayor said that he's going to hold a parade after he ejects this guy from the town and wants him to leave the town. And called him a Islamophobe because he thinks that it's inappropriate to name a street after a Paris, suspension.
I recently got a new burner phone or a new Instagram account, and I'm following all leftist, liberal, free Palestine accounts and profiles. I just saw them dropping leaflets in Gaza City, and this woman who I don't even think she's from Gaza. However, she's there. She's got she's a beautiful woman. She's in an apartment, and she's literally filming the leaflets dropping. She's like, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe I should go. And so there's so much media coming out of it's a tunnel vision, and I've never looked at a lot of this content, but there's so much of it that it's unbelievable. So it's its own huge media category, exclusive on Meta for the most part, and it's live. They suppose she's still on the internet, so I don't know. It's all that algorithm. It's really what you're following, and there's just too much content to consume. It would drive one mad to have to keep track of all of this content and information that comes through the cell phone, because it's just.
By the way, check out her hair and her nails of this woman in a genocide.
Yeah.
Look again at the video and look her perfect new nails with design on them and the highlights in her hair that was done professionally during this genocide.
Oh, so I assume she's been doing this for quite a while.
The genocide cut?
Yeah, it's a dental special.
Norm, did you see the story about the people in Michigan there? I'd love to be more interactive right now about the story, guys.
Who is the guy that is there? Who is the guy that they named the street after? Does it say it?
You're talking about Osama Selbani? Is that what you're asking? In the article?
Osama Selbani? Okay, thanks. Yes, that's what I meant.
You know what is really missing from the Free Palestine movement is God. It's to me, you don't really because if you mix Islamic preaching with all that other content, it would come across as even far more radical and extremist and cultish. So, but I would point out that's kind of the solution to a lot of these people's problem, to understand how they got to where they're at now, about to lose a war, and have had all their front teeth kicked in. So personal responsibility and self-governance, you can literally look at the media chain of events and see how these people program themselves into doing what they did on October 7th and the subsequent situation now.
Now I see that the Dearborn mayor is Abdallah Hamoud. Where?
Yeah, definitely his name's not Ricky Snell.
It'd be like Abdallah Hamoud Smith.
Yeah. ping you into this room. I think he's got more to say. That's fine. This topic, if you don't mind, please.
I sent her an invite.
And I was hoping she could invite her husband. This is exactly what he was talking about, what's going on in the UK. And this is just the beginning in Dearborn, Michigan, of what's going on in the UK with the grooming gangs. How the mayor is ignoring it and stuff like that. This is exactly what he talks about.
I saw this beautiful girl's.
Did you hear
Like, Ewan could talk your ear off for a year about grooming gangs. Ewan, I saw this beautiful girl's Hinge account. She said, if you're not free Palestine, don't even try.
That's exactly what's going on in the UK. It started happening like this in Dearborn, Michigan. Did you read what's in the Jumbotron, the Christian minister who speaks out about the street?
Free Palestine, don't even try.
And the Muslim radical mayor said we're going to do a parade when you get the fuck out of this town and you're an Islamophobe.
Oh, dude, I already know about what's going on in Michigan. I've been paying very close attention to it. So it's already started to happen in Michigan. It's already started to happen in parts of Texas, and it's happening in parts of Minnesota.
Talk more about it if you don't mind, so people can understand. Like especially in Minnesota,
yeah, so
Texas, so people not believe it.
Yeah. Hey, one sec. Let me put my AirPods in.
I heard the next gen AirPods are out that can do live language translation.
Yeah, we're gonna need it for going in this direction. Okay, so over the past, I would say 20 years, there's been a significant increase in immigration in the UK and Europe in general. And a lot of that has been people that have been from specifically the Middle East and North Africa, other African regions too, but it's basically made where I live in the UK a much more dangerous country. 15 years ago, there were 8,000 rapes a year in the entirety of the UK, and now there are 88,000 rapes a year in the UK, and that's only ones that are those are the only ones that police actually put through. There's a massive increase in sexual assaults, murders, stabbings, things like that that have gone up. Also, there's been a really big increase in incest, specifically first cousin marriage, specifically with Pakistani groups. And that's actually brought up the amount of children born with serious mental health issues to a very high level. It's at the highest it's ever been in the UK per capita. And yeah, it's really scary. The UK is falling apart as a country. It's very bizarre.
I'm gonna fuck it up right now.
There's this weird two-tier
Okay,
system
then move
that's
your
going
other
on
one to the audience.
where,
Well, it doesn't matter really.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. When the other one moves, then yeah.
Oh, look, the court stenographer's here.
I was going to ask you something before Simon. I forgot completely.
You're gonna ask me something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Is it Utah related?
No. Oh no, it was more a statement when we're talking about drinking.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this year I've had 4 drinks
Nice.
only.
You feel better?
You should have read 4 books instead.
No.
Actually, I read a lot. Even if you don't believe it, John.
Well, I have a book club. You know, we read 10 minutes to each other in my book club. You should come to my book club.
Who else is in your book club?
Everybody on Clown House who wants to be in the book club, of course. Silly.
Anyway.
I thought we were going to do a campaign fundraiser this morning. I got petition circulators that need to get paid. They want to make $100 today, the hard way.
The fundraising, the campaign fundraising edition. Okay.
I just texted my team and told them that we raised another $200. So get out there and make that money and get those signatures, Patriots.
How many more signatures do you need?
We need 200 more signatures.
All the signatures.
What is the number of signatures you need?
700 total.
And how many do you have?
530 plus.
Okay, you need another 500.
I agree. Maybe another 1,000 just to be safe. That's what it would really take, to tell you the truth.
Are they all legit?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay, and how do you do it? Do you go house by house, or do you stop them in the street? Or what's the methodology?
Strip malls, State Street. It's all in Rockford. There's 150,000 people that live there, and I have 3 people who are going to big evening, corridors. And as far as I know, all their signatures are legit, but that's the thing, you won't know until the challenge. And then they go signature by signature, and they will literally go through every single one and challenge every single one. And there's multiple ways to challenge a signature. And you got to sit there and literally do the research in the database real time as they're challenging you to discuss their challenge. And then the judge who's sitting there adjudicates and determine whether it's accepted or denied.
How soon do you have to have these?
October 27th is when I should have them turned in, probably.
When?
October 27th, so we got about 45 more days.
27th of October.
It's a lot of work, and the challenge, and literally it will take them maybe 6 to 8. It might take them 6 hours to challenge all the signatures, maybe 8 hours, and you got to sit there it will take 8 hours. So you sit there the whole day, you get a lunch break, and hopefully they have an answer, at the end of the workday by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
How do they challenge them? Do they go? Because when you get a signature, you have to get a name and I don't know, like ID number or something.
What they do is during the challenge, they put it on a big screen TV and they scan in every sheet, and then it focuses in and pulls a snippet from the signature line, and it puts it on the big screen, and then they have to press challenge yes or no, and then they say why they're challenging.
So it's all done with, of course, automated.
Yeah, it's fully automated, but again, if they challenge a signature, it's up to me, not the people that work there, to go into their fucking database, search for that person who signed, and find out if that's the correct address, the correct, you literally have to pull up that record yourself as the candidate. And so they make the whole burden of responsibility on you to defend the signatures, as opposed to automating it and having a way for the system to confirm it. So they make the whole process fucking obnoxiously long and stupid. It's for children, and it's wild. People get kicked out.
Wait, so hold on. They challenge just like random signatures, or
no?
How?
Like I just told you, if you were listening, they challenge every single signature, line by line.
God.
That's how they do it. I've gone through this process before. It is the craziest. And then you can file an appeal, and then it goes to a court judge. Okay, I've gone through this whole process. It is the most insane, because there's a whole category of law called political law, and this is how it's all. This is about petition access. It's so insanely long and stupid to do all this, but this is probably the last time I ever will do this. It's so fucking stupid. See, the worst thing is, one of the reasons why all my signatures have problems is because they're not generated by Republican parties. And I have no real Republican list. God, there's a fucking list. Man, I have people who tell me things, and it's like, don't tell me things, show me things, do things, you know? And so, really, life is all about what you do, because most other people will never help you or do anything productive for you unless they're being paid. It's called compensation. And without compensation, there's no dopamine in helping someone. So, that's the truth of life.
And you have to do this just the first time, like once you get like to be the official candidate of the Republican Party, or do you have to do this every single time that you run, even if you're in the Congress, right?
Everyone has to generate petitions, as far as I know. Even if he's the incumbent, I'm sure he still has to generate petitions in order to get on the ballot. Because when you submit to the Illinois State Election Commission or the Chicago Election Commission, it's everything is done with forms and paperwork. So he has to submit, and I'm sure he has no problem getting his signatures, done within a couple days.
And there can be only one candidate for each for the Republican Party in each district.
No, there's multiple Republican candidates now. There's 3 of us. One the incumbent, 2 challengers, and then in the Democrat field, there's 4 Democrats running as well. This is the primary to determine who the 2 picks are on the ballot.
Yeah, that's my point. So first you have to do like a primary, and then whoever wins among those 3, that will be the official ballot, right?
Correct. That ballot is in November of 2026.
Okay.
But this is if I can even get my name on the ballot, that is the win for me, because there's a very low chance that I'll actually beat him, even if I get on the ballot. So to me, this whole thing is like an exercise in credibility and resume and political building. So that's the way to look at it, because it's really just multiple attempts to win an election, whether it's Congress or commissioner. There's so many political positions where I live. It's a never-ending political industrial complex. So once Google recognizes me, as they do now as a politician, it will make running in future elections more likely that I'll win. I'm 42, so I'm trying to look at this as like a 15-year curve of what can I accomplish politically over 15 years.
What do you think the next thing will be after this campaign?
Probably mayor of Chicago, running for the mayoral election. That would be the wildest political ride I could do, because it's all local and I could get those signatures very easily to run for mayor. So
You wouldn't want to do a smaller city?
I live in Chicago. My permanent residence is here. Running against Mayor Brandon Johnson would be a huge PR win for me in terms of social media credibility, etc.
Is he popular?
He's despised. He's got like a 13% approval rating. Nobody likes him. His attitude is so aggressive and so demeaning and so superior and narcissistic and grandiose and obnoxious and childish. No
Yeah, but
one
I mean, is
respects
he
him.
popular as in like, it doesn't matter if they know him for the good or the bad things, but is he popular is he well known, let's say, at a Congress level?
Everybody in the country is aware of who Brandon Johnson is, for the most part.
Okay, yeah, that was my question. So if you actually were to defeat him in the primary, that would be huge for you.
He's going to get he's running as a Democrat. I would be running in a multiple field, probably of a few Republicans. But again, even if I don't win, just having my name on the ballot is a huge PR move for me personally in terms of developing, credibility and social media standing. Because don't forget, I have 25,000 recordings up on YouTube, 25,000 Instagram posts. I'm so connected to recording Clubhouse and everybody here on this app that the more PR I get, the bigger my media business grows. So, and my media standing, because people, you got to understand I'm doing a couple more newspaper interviews and like morning talk show things locally in Rockford and Peoria. There's 300,000 people that live there. There's ABC, CBS, NBCs in all those towns. I have to try to get on their media because you can see in my PTR the NPR interview. That was a big credibility boost for the campaign. That was my first big press event. So I need more big press events.
I heard you have been hosted.
Okay, I have removed you many times from the room. Hold on. I've removed you many times from the room, and this is gonna be the last time I remove you because you're gonna be blocked, you faggot.
So, anyways, again, this is really just about developing media and publicity, and I really enjoy talking about the fiscal crisis and my campaign mantra: stop borrowing, stop spending. So this is, I have found that this is a method.
Do you have the interview they did with you? Like, I heard it was very, very good. I want to listen to it.
Yeah, I can put it in the chat. People like it.
Yeah, they said that you were amazing. That you were like super serious and very eloquent. So are you saying that Clubhouse is gonna help you win? It's gonna be your stepping stone to become an important politician?
I think all the conversations I've recorded have value because most people in the conversations are, if people on this app actually spend time going through my YouTube and then they found all these recordings of themselves and other people, it's what is the difference between going through my 25,000 videos and listening to Clubhouse rooms versus coming here and listening to the same people say the same things, live. I'm trying to, help wake people up to their usage of time, what they're listening to and what they're saying.
Well, Andrew, come on up on stage.
Yeah, sorry, I'm working, so I might not be able to talk too much.
It's okay. We all are. I'm working as well. And John is telling us about his campaign. Yeah, so sorry, John. What were you saying? The last thing? Oh no, I asked you about like a Clubhouse as your stepping stone to politics, and you said you've been recording everyone, and what's the difference between hearing people here and hearing people outside?
Well, what I'm trying to do is wake people up to the fact that what you listen to and what you say is very important. And in regards specifically to time usage and how you're spending your day, and, because life comes down to a stream of communication. And so the more focused your communication, I'm just saying that my recordings are basically observations on public speaking. And so I like to make fun of non-native English speakers and call this like an ESL seminar for individuals. But, if you want to see public speaking or yourself doing public speaking, my YouTube channels are full of Clubhouse speakers. But the link is in the chat to this interview I did. Eduardo writes, Clubhouse is a shithole. John, if you condition your election expectations to Clubhouse, you already lost. Well, he also wrote, FJK is in the room and my typing is going to be recorded. Well, I'm running for Congress, and so this is a fundraising room that Issa and I discussed yesterday. Thanks for being here, everybody. We won't suck up too much of your time here, and I promise to only give you flowers and joy. I'm going to put a link to the donation page for the campaign. It's using Antidote. It should also be in my profile here. If you want to click my profile, then click more.
Put it on top of the room so that people see it as soon as they comment.
So I have a wonderful young lady in Rockford who has a team of 3 people, and they have generated over 500 signatures for the campaign. And we have been paying them $1.50 a signature. I myself have brought in 30 signatures in Bloomington, Normal, Illinois. And so we're sitting at 530 signatures, and I'm pretty confident that she's going to get another 150 signatures this weekend. So that'll sit us at 653 by Sunday. And then I'm going to personally go get signatures Sunday myself, and hopefully we'll be at 700 by Monday. And Then from there, I want to continue getting probably 150 signatures a week in Rockford, and then move.
No, you should get more, dude. Like, I mean, you have 40 days. You should strive for more.
I am, and so I want to expand to Peoria, which is the second largest town city in the district, which has about 140,000, 130,000 people. So I'm gonna drive to Peoria and create content outside of Darren LaHood's office, in the same way that Charlie Kirk would sit there and do Q&A. So I'm gonna do a live stream event outside of Darren
Are you
LaHood's
gonna
office.
prove me wrong? I think actually you would be a good prove me wrong guy because you're very eloquent and you also come up with very quick responses and logic. I think you would be a good one to have this type of tables. You should give it a try.
Yeah, I think the prove me wrong idea is a great idea. And so, but hopefully when we get to
Why
Peoria,
don't you open a chapter of Turning Point USA?
well, I'm branding everything under John Kitover Incorporated, and T Rob's the Tourette N-word sufferer, Northern Irishman here on this app. He owns johnkitover.com, so he may end up becoming, a very wealthy individual one day.
Didn't he give it to you anymore?
He changed it and redirected it to johnforcongress.com, and I thank him for that. So
Oh, he should cede it to you. What does he gain behind it?
I don't want it either. I don't want to own any domain names anymore. I don't want to own any domain names. I've owned domain names for like 30 years, and I could care less anymore because everything is just platform to platform. Your domain name as a platform is worth nothing. Your presence on all these social audio or all these social apps, X and Instagram, that's all that matters. YouTube, that's all that matters. Your website means nothing. Its platforms is what people are using, and you need to go where the people are at. So that's why everybody's abandoning domain names and focusing on their digital media assets and their handles, etc.
Issa, what's going on, Issa? How are you?
Who is this?
This is your replacement for Rico.
Whoa, pause.
This is
Oh,
mini
it's,
Rico.
What's her name? Jesus Christ.
It's Alchemist.
Alchemist, yeah.
Yeah, it's Alchemist.
I thought that was Soren for a second.
So Chase Your Grace.
Alchemist.
Chase Your Grace, you work at UPS, you're a Bitcoin trader, you're a social media provocateur and content creator. If I were to give you
This fucking guy.
If I were to give you $1 million, Chase Your Grace, give me your asset allocation on my $1 million. Thank you.
Do you have any crypto money you can donate to John for his campaign?
Possibly. John, what do you like? What do you support?
I support Bitcoin. I think it's the future of our currency in a way, or some other type of U.S. Issued crypto. And I think we will get there as a people, and we will utilize cryptological currency to prevent counterfeiting, because the U.S. dollar, the fake hundreds that come out of Peru, I don't know if you know that Peru is the largest creator of fake currency. So, and I think it's $1 trillion a year industry. So a way to technologically secure our currency, I think, is most likely in our future.
Are you running for president, John?
I'm running for Congress. And if we lose the congressional primary in March, we're running for the mayor of Chicago.
John the Congressman.
Yes, he is running for Congress. Where is crypto/Bitcoin in your program, John?
Well, it's all based out of the Treasury Department. And I think if I get into Congress, I'm going to impeach Maxine Waters, and I'm demanding a full audit of the Federal Reserve. And I want to know exactly what they're developing in terms of cryptocurrency. And I want full oversight and full transparency at the Federal Reserve.
And then you put me in charge of the Digital Assets Committee.
Correct. And Issa will be our secretary.
Oh, Daniel.
Yeah.
Honey, how are you?
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, honey.
Hello.
You know that I started doing soft Shabbat last week?
What, that you're gonna log off?
Yeah, from everything.
Nice. What, like books, people? What do you do?
Technology, social media, TV.
Yeah, but what do you do instead, I mean?
Read.
Read books, okay, that's what I meant. Okay.
Yeah. I even opened my Bible last weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm thinking to dedicate that to Saturdays, you know. And I was thinking maybe I should do it on Sundays, you know, like Christian. But
Well,
then it's like,
I mean, on Sunday, everything is closed anyway, so you can kind of...
no, but the thing is that for me, Sunday is, I cannot relax really on Sundays. Saturday is just perfect because it's like, okay, I just wake up super late or whatever, you know, like I just don't put my alarm clock.
Yeah.
Super late is like, I don't know, 8:30 or something like that.
What? That's super late?
Yeah. And then I just, because the next day I don't really have to do anything, so it's easier for me to really disconnect.
Yeah,
Saturdays are the days that I really don't care about anything.
Because you always have Sunday afterwards to kind of catch up and...
Yes, Sundays my brain is already getting into like, okay, what do I have to do tomorrow mode.
Yeah, I get it.
So Saturday is perfect. Yeah, so I'm doing that. I went to church last Sunday.
What do you do there? Like what, you listen to mass or something like that?
Yeah, I went to mass.
Really?
And then I heard a group of people singing in an area of the church, and I went to see what they were doing. And they were singing the rosary. And I just said, praying the rosary or whatever.
I don't know.
And then I stayed there for a little bit. They were already finishing. And then I asked them, like, oh, do you do this every week? Whatever. And they're like, and they were all in Spanish. And I'm like, oh, well, look, Spanish speaking people. Mm-hmm. And then I asked them what whether they did that like every week and whatever. Because I was thinking maybe I should go back to like a more like spiritual community, you know, and explore like the Catholic churches. So
it's not necessarily spiritual though, it's religious, not necessarily spiritual.
Yeah, it's religious, but yeah, it's like maybe I can find people that are willing to have like these type of conversations, you know. And they're like, oh, why don't you join us for a coffee? And I'm like, okay, fine. And I went for a coffee with them. Sorry?
You went to church.
What?
Deism. That's what most of the founding fathers were.
Deists, yeah.
Deists, yeah.
Yeah, so I went with them for a coffee, and they were Spanish and some Latin Americans, and they were singing. And it was like, what?
Were there Latinas there?
Yeah, there were Latinos and Latinas. There were also a couple of Spanish guys.
Were they dancing, Isa?
What?
Were they dancing?
No, it was like in a coffee shop, and so they're like a guitar, and they started singing, but it was not even like God songs. It was just like normal music, and it was super animated. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. And then I stayed there.
Latino.
Oh my god, you and your Matrix Androids.
Hello.
Yeah, but it was great. I stayed there with them for like 2 hours. And then they started being very preachy, like talking about Jesus and Joseph and why I should believe certain things, and I didn't like that push.
What I was saying is that Latinos and Latinas are notorious for turning like a service into a party.
No, but this was out of the church.
Yeah, but like even just like, oh, it's just an interaction. Let's make it fun.
Yeah. They were sitting in a coffee shop and they were singing.
Fuck yeah, dude! Like it's hilarious.
I see a Matrix from
my
Matrix.
wife's family Catholic, and like she can't tell me about like the church and stuff. Like, honey, yeah, I'm in the Matrix. Sorry.
Can you please tap on the 3 dots on the top right and lower your volume quality to low? Adjust your volume quality to low, please. Because it's horrible. And then you can talk again.
Okay, that should be better.
Hopefully it'll.
No, I was saying that. I was saying.
And I do not hope for a better world for anyone.
Like, whenever people describe to me Catholic services in like Latin America, it's like a trip to a club.
Don't be exaggerated.
I love Latinos.
A little.
Oh, you do? I think everybody does.
Not everybody, but me, yeah, I love Latinos. I'm going to Colombia in like 2 months. So.
Yeah, but not all Latinos are the same, okay? Just you have.
Well,
none of them are created equal.
You're all bad.
Yeah, we're not all created equal.
What do you mean by that?
A lot of the Latinas that you get, and I don't want to sound like a classist, but I am a classist. The Latinas you get in the US are like, let's say, low life, a lot of them, very, I don't know, not highly educated, not, I don't know, the way they speak, everything.
It all depends on the country they come from, Lisa.
No, it not always depends on the country they come from. No. I think it's the quality of the immigration that you guys have. Because you have a lot of, hold on, let me explain my own people. Let me explain my people.
You're not your own people. You can't claim like every single person.
No, but I understand the culture very well, and I have been in the
Are you identitarian, Lisa?
What?
Are you an identitarian?
Yes, I am.
Oh shit, Simon.
No, I'm not. Anyway, thing is that I understand the culture very well, and the immigration you guys have got in the U.S. is how do you call them, like financial migrants or whatever. So usually they are very like it might not sound nice, but yeah, they're low class. So they don't really have an education. You can see actually the way they speak, the Spanish they speak, is like very rough. Also like the attitude, and the behavior and all of that is like not too classy, let's say. And so when people think of Latinas, I think that I don't know, like I don't like to be boxed with those kind of people. Because it's not everyone the same. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying not everyone is the same. It's people that don't know how to speak, don't know how to write, not well educated. I mean, and not even just about school, but also about like manners.
Yeah. So that's complete bullshit. Because
no, it's not bullshit.
It is, and I'll explain it to you why. Because it all depends on the country that they come from and which wave of immigration they come from. So, for example, if you look at the established Cuban families in Miami, they're all very highly educated. They're all doctors, lawyers, and professors and stuff. They have money. They ran away from the regime, and so they brought their wealth. And those were people, like highbrow people in the high society. Same goes for Venezuelans who escaped Chavez. Now, just by comparison, the Venezuelans, the wave of Venezuelans who came recently, like during the Maduro's reign, that's a completely different class of people. So once again, the first wave was all about, it was people who were saving their money, who sold their businesses, they were entrepreneurial, they were very well educated. And then the second wave was much more, like the people who grew up in the countryside, who were farmers, and they were looking for labor jobs basically. So it all depends on which country, what.
Obviously, it also depends on the culture of the country and on the contextual stuff of the country. And yeah, you're right. So for example, in Cuba, none of them go out of Cuba with money. That's bullshit. But what you're right about Cuba is that they have got very good education. Like for example, doctors. There are very good doctors from Cuba, and once they're out, they make shitloads of money because the medical education
So to clarify,
very good now.
What years are you talking about when you talk about?
I'm talking, well, Cuba has been communist since the mid-50s, dude. So,
okay,
yeah.
So did you hear what I said? I said Cuba
I know. But
well
people didn't
established
escape Cuba before. People didn't escape Cuba before. Even the ones that stayed in Cuba and immigrated and migrated to the U.S. in the 80s, in the 90s, they are also super well educated. Now, Venezuela, I do agree with you. The ones that could foresee what was going to be like in a communist country, they got out before they lost their money. And so, yeah, you got a lot of very wealthy families that got in the US or any other countries and they escaped communism. The ones that stayed got fucked up, and then when they were able to get out, I mean, like, that is a very different wave of immigrants. With Venezuela, I 100% agree with you. Now, then you have from other countries like Peru and Colombia, and like all of these other ones have got different cultures. You have Dominican Republic is usually a way, let's say, lower class type of Latin, compared to other countries. Might be because of the wealth of the country, might be because of their education system, might be because of the slang they use, or the culture, or the whatever it is. But they are, let's say, lower in terms of education and manners. So it depends. I agree on the country you come from, but also it depends within the country. Like, where are you from, and what is the motivation for your immigration? Like for example, I was not, let's say, I am not a financial immigrant, if you want to see it like that. I went out because of, like, I don't know, like my skills, whatever, they hired me out, and Guatemala doesn't have really like jobs for me. So I've been headhunted like in other countries, and that's how I have gone out. So it's different when you are living in a very little town where you don't have anything to eat, and then you have to go to USA and work, I don't know, as cleaner in a house, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely what you're saying does make sense, because I did have like a little thing with a Venezuelan, and she would tell me a lot of the things that you're saying now, that there's different, it's basically like there are some countries in Latin America that are like considered white trash, and then there's like upper class white people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Argentinian immigrants, for example, or Colombian immigrants, they will have completely different background, and even if they, from both countries, they have economic immigrants who come here for work, it's different type of work that they will be coming, depending on the country that they're coming from, because the countries themselves, they have certain patterns that they produce certain type of professionals. Mexico, close by, over the border, the masons come in, the concrete people come in, the tilers come in. It's just labor guys. Now you go.
Yeah, Mexico has different
further,
demographics
right?
actually.
You go like something like Brazil. Yeah, it's like something like Brazil, Argentina. Those people like engineers, doctors, financiers, bankers. You know, like it all depends. Saying that they all are educated.
No. I didn't say they all are, but the majority of people, or a very big part of the people that migrate to the US, do it for economic reasons. And when that is the case, you get people that are not highly educated and that because they come from lower classes of the society, they have different culture, different manners, like, yeah, it's lower class. I'm sorry. And yeah, in our country,
Isa, all you had to do is say a lot instead of all, and you would have adjusted.
I didn't say all. I didn't say all. I didn't. That is an absolutism. I never do that.
Play her the recording back. Play her the recording back, John. Do it.
Anyway, so yeah. And again, usually class and education, I don't mean that it has to do with wealth, but it has to do with like the background of your family, you know, and the schools you go and how you...
Values, it has to do with values first and foremost.
Your social network and all of these type of stuff.
It has to do with values, like whatever family, it can be a poor family, but if their values are like hard work, you know, education, moving to the next step in a society, they'll succeed. And if it's a fucking rich ass kid who is like, you know, let's party, you know,
they can be a small little brat, drug addict.
Yeah, and he's gonna be pauper poor within like 1 or 2 generations.
Yeah. Hey, Dave. Alchemist, are you there?
So did anybody watch Charlie Kirk's funeral where his wife, you know, caressed his dead hands and cried and sobbed over his casket?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's not the funeral. Well, I don't know. I think the funeral. Well, is the funeral just like one day? I didn't understand that because they're not gonna bury him until Sunday.
I mean, I guess that was like the viewing, the viewing room prior, or they have like a meeting, you know, with the casket and the deceased.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was horrible. I wouldn't have posted that video.
Every time you see a dead body, it's always amazing how the color changes so significantly, and you can always detect it. There's nothing quite like
It's
it.
yellowish, right?
Yeah, I mean, funeral directors are supposed to put makeup on, you know, but even when you put makeup on it, it's like, anyways. I'm just saying that, you know, life and death are the ultimates. And the way I view, you know, Charlie Kirk's assassination, it's like we have this psychosis index. And because of the internet and cell phones and programming and access to high-powered rifles, I mean, the only way to counteract this is with vigilant citizens. And the fact that some people filmed another motherfucker on a rooftop and we're just like, oh, hey, look at that guy up on that motherfucking roof, you know, that rifle there, you know, and they're at a Charlie Kirk event. Why the fuck those people aren't, you know, hooting and hollering and disrupting the whole event? As soon as you see somebody on the roof, like, why isn't somebody screaming to stop the entire event and everyone run? So vigilant citizens who can detect evildoers and can prevent these tragedies prior to an actual shooting event. I mean, even the Pennsylvania with Trump, why that piece of shit got on the roof and there were people filming it and why people didn't stop everything, shut the whole thing down. I mean, sometimes it takes the loudest person in the room or somebody at least with some command presence to, you know, dictate the situation because they're that effing loud. They disrupt congressional hearings all the time with, you know, pink activists disrupting testimony and et cetera. So your voice matters. And, you know, if you see something, say something.
crime not to say anything.
Isa, my favorite watermelon.
Yes, Chorizo, how are you? Stop defaming me in the chat.
Hey, my guy. Those people that saw that dude up with a rifle, when a bullet has your name, it has your fucking name, bro. You ain't getting away from that. That bullet has Eric's name all over it. It's unfortunate.
I mean, we are all saying like, oh my god, maybe it's gonna, but can you imagine? I bet that he was close to maybe being shot some other times, in other places. And he might have gone out alive, But I doubt that this was the first time.
Yeah, exactly. You know how many other instances these guys were set up? He has never had the chance, saw the clear shot. Like I said, that bullet had his name on it already.
Yeah, these guys must have tried already to kill him, but he was either lucky or it wasn't prevented or whatever. I doubt this was the first time they were after him. And I bet it's the same thing with the other guys, with the Ben Shapiros and Michael Knowles and yeah. But poor Charlie Kirk.
I've been asking. I hate to get off topic. I've been asking Grok a lot of questions, and I gotta say, Grok is extremely woke, and it's unbelievable that you think it's gonna have like this ultra conservative bias or something, but it's not. Grok is extremely liberal in its opinions, but I think it's really because that's the source of all the information. I mean, it's just indexing the internet, and the internet is just full of woke opinions. But it's like very anti-American and anti-patriotic. But it does provide a great ability to do compressions and summaries, and do extractions from larger documents. So it is a really useful tool in analyzing large amounts of information and taking compressed extracts from it.
Yeah, I still prefer ChatGPT, to be honest. I mean, for work at least, I prefer ChatGPT. I think it's much better. I use Claude sometimes, but I think the features, even on a paid subscription, are very limited compared to what you can get with ChatGPT. So I might stop paying for it. Is Alchemist still on the phone? Alchemist! Dave came here to see you. What are you working on, Andre?
Okay, everybody, this is a campaign fundraising room for candidate John. That's me, the speaker here. If you're in this room, invite people to the room. Click that link above. If you meet the donation rules, send $5, $10, 10, not 11, 10, not 9. And I promise I'm going to read you a poem which is going to awaken your kundalini in your
No
tuchus
poems.
all the way up to your pineal gland. It's called a poem, everybody. It's only 60
Put your
seconds of your
poems.
day. Ladies and
Put your
gentlemen,
poems in.
ladies,
Put your poems in your
ladies,
tuchus.
ladies, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, 60 seconds of your time when you've spent years here talking about nothing. 60 seconds of a refined poem is all I'm asking.
He did act.
Okay, this is your poem. Democracy, daughters. Ferocious fascism, cackling communism, equally frauds cavort crazily all over Clubhouse. They are hemming us in. They are abortive births of the Clubhouse child. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by anti-socialistic ways. The abnormal Clubhouse man who foresees the trend of the times and adapts circumstance intelligently is laughed at, persecuted, kicked out of rooms, put in the goo, often destroyed by the Clubhouse herd. But he and his heirs, when the crisis comes, are survivors. Above us today on Clubhouse hangs a danger never yet paralleled in history. We suppress...
This is the reason why you kill your rooms, John. Okay, Alchemist, you're off the phone.
What's up? What's up?
Dave came here to see you.
Dave, what's good, man? How are you? I haven't been in the Bitcoin.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out if I want to be in a room with John or not. I didn't just come here to see you, but it is good to see you.
Yeah, man, you too. Yeah, I haven't been in the
I'm a dangerous person.
Dangerous person for recording your never-ending Bitcoin rooms? Are you guys talking about nothing, Dave?
Why is he a dangerous person?
He's not mentally stable.
No, he is actually. He just plays like a crazy man.
No, he's not mentally stable.
Have you heard his interview? He's running for Congress. He posted his interview link in the chat.
You know, David, it's a kingly thing to be evil spoken of. Are you projecting when you say I'm not mentally stable? Are you not mentally stable? He's doing it to me, son. This is my fundraiser room, Dave. How dare you come in here and insult me, sir? You're no gentleman. You're nothing but a Bitcoin pork chop.
Dave, you troll people all the time. Why are you gonna get upset with someone trolling?
Dave, I haven't been in the Bitcoin rooms because every time I do, I get kicked and I get treated like a...
Who kicks you out?
Andrew kicks him out. He said perverted things about his children. He's so bullshit.
Did you?
What the fuck? No, I didn't do that. What the fuck?
What did you say about Andrew's children?
What the fuck is he talking about? No, I didn't. That's weird as hell. No, I did not do that. Andrew doesn't like me. I don't know why.
Why doesn't he like you, according to you?
He thinks I'm stupid, I think. So, I don't know. He thinks I'm dumb. Okay. I like
Is he wrong?
Yeah, he is, but I don't know. Maybe I am. I have no clue. But I don't think so. He just doesn't like my opinions. Yeah, I don't know. So I just haven't been going in. But yeah, Dave, it's good to talk to you, man. I'll be traveling out of the country very soon. So I'll be in Colombia, and then we'll see from there.